A few minutes before we shot this episode, we received this message from the guest who was scheduled to join us. This person is a Filipino in the Middle East.
Boss, okay lang ba next time na lang? Nag-aalangan kami dahil sensitive pang sitwasyon ngayon. Ang hirap magbigay ng opinion sa nangyayari dito lalo na't alam natin kung anong pwedeng mangyari. Sorry, alam kong gusto mo din talaga. Kaso kapag naging okay ng sitwasyon, sorry talaga.
Welcome to a special urgent edition of Wordplay Wednesdays. I'm your host, Chai, and today is Friday the 13th. So, usually on a day like this, the internet is full of talk about bad luck, black cats, and old superstitions. We play with the idea of horror as something that lives in movies or urban legends. But as we hit record today, we have to acknowledge a much darker, much more tangible reality. Because the real horror isn't found in a date on a calendar, but in the fact that the world is starting to crack. For the people of Iran and the thousands of Filipinos living in the Middle East, the real horror isn't a date on the calendar. It's the sound of the sky breaking. It's the second week of a war that is shifting the very foundation of the world as we know it. Today, we're pausing our usual deep dives into art to bear witness to a crisis that demands our attention. Here's what we need to know right now. The conflict in Iran is entering its second week. The rhetoric coming from the US has reached a fever pitch, with Trump demanding unconditional surrender using the phrase, "It's where they cry uncle or when they can't fight any longer." Inside Iran, the leadership has shifted to, I don't know how to pronounce this, Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the Ayatollah. So this comes just days after the US administration publicly dismissed him as a lightweight. This isn't just a war of weapons anymore, but of egos and legacies. And the stakes are nuclear. There's now open discussion between the US and Israel regarding special forces entering Iran to secure highly enriched uranium stockpiles. The world is reacting in real time. WTI crude oil hit a staggering $119 a barrel before the G7 stepped in to discuss releasing 400 million barrels from their reserves. This Friday the 13th, the bad luck isn't a myth. It's a geopolitical nightmare. But here at AA, our goal is to immortalize the human experience. And right now, that experience is being threatened by the egos of the powerful. We're not here to talk about the win or the loss of a war. We're here to advocate for the person on the balcony, the worker in the oil field, and the families waiting for a text message that says, "I'm okay." Today, we side fiercely and exclusively with humanity. I'm joined today by my co-hosts, Nike, Wiwo, and Mike, to look at what this means for all of us. So, Wiwo, when we see WTI crude oil hitting $119 a barrel, the world treats it like a scoreboard. But at AA, we know those numbers represent a massive pressure point on human lives. So, from a global business and economic standpoint, how does this volatility threaten the stability of the average household? Like when the G7 starts releasing millions of barrels from reserves, what is the human reality behind that economic panic?
Hello, good evening. So reality is they're just discussing it. The G7 is just discussing it. They haven't released it. You won't know when they will release it.
Mhm.
So, bumaba man yung presyo ng oil sa world markets dahil it's mostly speculation kaya siya tumaas doon. And then bumababa siya kasi may another round of news, another round of speculation. But the reality is, mga Filipinos, they have to stomach like 60 plus na ang gas, diesel ngayon per liter. Yep, right? And then there's a possibility na umakyat siya to 90.
Oo nga po.
Diba?
71, bro.
71? Okay, so ibig sabihin tataas ang presyo ng bilihin because oil ginagamit niya sa transportation ng goods and services. Right now, markets sa mga asset holders, hindi pa sila naapektuhan kasi, for example, PSEI, Korean Stock Market Index, Nikkei, bumababan sila pero nagre-recover. S&P 500, hindi masyadong bumaba. Anong sinasabi nito? Sinasabi nito na the markets are not pricing in a long-term war. And Sa totoo lang,
Mm.
may sinasabi tayo sa investments na the markets are never wrong. Pero like we saw in 2008, the global financial crisis, sobrang tumaas nga yung markets pero merong tectonic shift sa ilalim na yung housing market crash. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
there's still a big risk. Ang dami-daming pwedeng mangyari dito sa gerang to na mali na dapat I think people should be refraining from taking a lot of risk right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that pressure is felt most acutely by those closest to the fire. So, Nike, you know the Middle East, you've lived there, you've breathed the air, and you have friends there right now. Our mission is to immortalize the Filipino experience, the human experience, and right now, a huge part of that experience is happening in the crossfire of this conflict. So, as you look at the news through the eyes of someone with deep roots there, how are you processing this? Like beyond the lightweight insults and the military strategy, what are the humans, actually going through these past 2 weeks? And you personally, I know that you have a story to tell. Please do so.
How do I begin? So,
Start ka muna siguro sa I would say, nagtrabaho ka dun, right?
yeah.
Uwi
Okay,
mo lang
sige.
dito sa Pilipinas, yun, para malaman ng tao na kakagaling mo lang sa Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Sige. Siguro for context lang, I was just there a few months ago. I went back here. Yun nga, I tried to venture into a new industry, but to give emphasis lang on what or how is it really there. If you haven't been, the Middle East is a very beautiful country. Even the language, I fell in love with the language. The people are not as what stereotypical memes would say na Allah Akbar, boom. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay? So, yung angles nila in life is different. They're very, siguro if I can put the term, mystical. Kasi, even the scent, there's this oud. They call it oud. Okay? It's just a bark of a tree. Okay? They light it up, they use it to, sa clothes nila, sa house nila, and things like that. Meron silang mga may mga habits sila, meron silang mga gestures na if you don't know, it's weird, but if you know what it means, amazing talaga. Like sobrang heartfelt. Yung even how they describe certain things How they describe food, how they describe the actual act of describing food. So I need more than a few more episodes just to discuss yung idea na how beautiful that country is. Okay. With what's happening right now, I don't know where to even begin. I know how it felt. I know how it feels kasi I was there when pandemic hit. And yun nga not all people are aware na in the Middle East, normal lang bumbaan it's sad to say, normal lang bumbaan doon. Like, imagine your country has built-in sirens just to inform the public na pagka to tumunog, may bomba, run, hide, go to the next nearest shelter. Imagine, that's one of the safety precautions of your country. If you hear a siren, run.
Parang
So,
urge na siren.
okay, there may difference in sirens. If it sounds like this, ang ibig sabihin niyan, it just started. If it sounds like this, ibig sabihin niyan, tapos na. Real scenario, in 1 hour, makarinig ka ng isang siren, it means may isang explosion. Imagine hearing 5 to 6 sirens in an hour. So, ongoing yun, battle yun, gera talaga, like literal, gera talaga. I have a lot of stories to share. It's difficult to put it into words, but hopefully along the way through this podcast, I get to shed some more light into the
Okay.
emotions that we can discuss. Yeah.
When you say na normal yung bombahan dun, would you compare it to usual daily traffic here in the Philippines sa tinanggap natin na it's part of life? Ganun siya ka-prevalent, frequent?
Okay, siguro
corruption,
Siguro,
flood control.
hindi. It's weird eh. Siyempre, yung political point of view ng, for example, the specific country that I'm from in the Middle East. Ano sila eh, hindi naman sila presidents eh. Ano sila eh, di ba? Royal family sila eh. Ganun
Okay.
ang ano nila, ganun ang setup nila, di ba? Okay, so it's always an issue. To be specific, it's always gonna be an issue if your country is rich in oil. I don't know. I have to throw
Yeah.
this out there. Even the fucking denomination, dinar. Dinar is the most expensive denomination in the world. I believe right now it's 180 plus. It's probably gonna get bigger just because of this oil issue thing. So if we have terrorists din naman here in the Philippines, other countries. There's a certain form lang of terrorism eh. Pero with them, it's weird eh. Sasabihin nila it's because of this reason, that's why may ganitong terrorist. Sabihin nila may ganitong terrorist, it's because of this reason. So you just have to choose eh. Pero yes, to answer Wiwo, ano siya eh, prevailing siya eh, ongoing siya most of the time. For the benefit of hindi aware, um, in order for you to logistically travel or to bring in or bring out ammunition, malaking problema yan. Sobrang, hindi naman problema, like maraming requirements yan. So, any type of ammunition na binyahe, it has to be guarded by police, may mga checks yan,
Yeah.
clearances yan, and all that.
Mm.
Okay? So, in a country na red flag country, such things hindi siya hindi siya simple na pinapabayaan lang ng mga government officials, okay? Sorry, I'm taking too much time, but I want to give
Go
emphasis
ahead, go
lang
ahead.
on the
Yeah,
details
yeah.
kasi
Oo.
the reason of the urgency of this episode is hindi nila nare-realize what is really happening eh. The things that you see on your phone, that's fucking filtered to the extent na ano eh, hindi na nga awareness eh, just for the views eh. Kumukuha sila just for the views eh. Okay, nalalayo na ako. But yes, it is prevailing. People are used to it. People, like, even yung generation nila. Pagka yung generation natin ngayon, sinabi na, may gera. Yung mga lolo nila sasabihin, ganyan din sa amin noon. Parang nung gera, nung ganito. Ganon ka-prevalent ang gera sa kanila. Like, literally war-infested countries eh. Middle East eh. Kasi a lot of people talaga, tayo na they need oil eh. Yun naman talaga yung magra-run ng bansa nila eh. Kaya parati silang alam mo yung pinagtitripan doon eh. So, it's that obvious, it's that prevailing, and like I said, if your defense ng bansa mo is a fucking siren to let the public know na, yo, we're fucking being bombarded, tayo na, takbo.
I-establish ko lang yung yung credibility mo para magkwento, right? Okay, we know galing ka sa
Okay,
Middle
okay, okay.
East. You've stayed there, sabi mo nga, even before the pandemic. Pwede bang malaman without compromising your safety and privacy, anong industry ka nagtrabaho sa Middle East?
Good question.
Yung pinaka-recent, airline ako in
Airline,
from the get-go. Siguro for credibility's sake, yun nga, I've been in and out of the Middle East siguro for siguro combined a decade, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
one thing that's really important for us to touch on, why did you come home?
Great question.
Damn. There was this ongoing joke between me and my dad na uwi ka na. Gera dyan. Parati na lang may gera dyan. Parati na lang may problema dyan. Siguro, ano ba yon? Nagdilang demonyo? Ni Santo. So, I was lucky enough, I guess, if you can call it like that, na before it erupted, before everything, before the shit hit the fan, nandito na ako.
Father's instinct yun, pare.
Probably. That's one of the reasons why I left then. But yun nga rin, siguro nagkaroon din ako ng opportunity here, and I don't know, I can't speak in behalf of everybody, pero ano OFW life is different. Ibang gera yun. The life itself, the OFW life itself, gera na yun. And if you apply that life in a country na infested ng gera, puta, 2x times 2 yung experience mo talagang mag-garner eh.
Mabilis ang level up pala dun, no?
Mabilis ang
Nightmare
level up
mode.
doon. Oo, pero
Pero
ano eh,
alam niyo yung nakakalungkot na
yeah.
part doon, yung yung iba sa mga kababayan natin ayaw nilang umuwi, no? Dahil wala rin naman silang aasahang trabaho dito pag uwi. So they'd rather
Great point.
stay in a country na pwede silang mabombahin kaysa umuwi sa Pilipinas nang mamatay sa gutom nang walang kalaban-laban. That's the sad part.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
different kinds of wars.
I agree kasi sometimes may gera ka na on your own na nilalabanan eh. So, approaching this episode, I had a quote in mind na I want to share with you guys na ako nag-OFW ako for a lot of different reasons. Pero in this case, the only line na nagtumatatak sa akin is the exchange rate worth it? Like with everything that's happening right now, how much it is, how much man yung conversion na yan, 2x, 5x, 10x, is it really fucking worth it? Kasi I know dudes na who got married there, who raised a family there, just because of the currency. Kasi talaga naman putang ina, sino ba naman di magbabago ng buhay with that kind
Yeah.
of currency, right? Pero yun na, like literal, alam naman nila na at any time pwedeng girahin, tapos ngayon ginigera na. So, that's my, ano siya open-ended question, I guess, na is it really fucking worth it? That exchange rate?
So, ang dami talaga natin pwedeng pag-usapan dito. And, this is why we're here. Because we want to give a voice to the experience before it becomes just another statistic. So, Nike, we were supposed to have a guest tonight, but as we
Great
all know,
people.
I mean,
Yeah.
at least the hosts know, they're not able to make it. Can you give a little more context to that?
Planning to invite two of my best buddies there. Kasi I chose them specifically kasi maganda yung dynamic ng setup nila. Like the previous example that I just gave. This is a friend of mine. We go really way back. Kasama ko siya sa deployment ko doon. Single siya dumating doon. He doesn't know how to fucking iron his polo. Di marunong magluto. Had to YouTube paano magsaing. Ganun. Okay. This is that type of dude. Okay. And you know what? Doon niya na-meet yung wife niya, doon siya nagka-baby, doon siya nag-progress sa career niya. I saw it like talagang from start to, hindi pa siya finish pero from start to where he is right now, I saw it. Sobrang proud moment ko noon seeing him like that. He's still trying, by the way, to connect to the call. So sana, hopefully he gets to join us pa. And the other dude, ganun din. I met him there, gym buddy ko yun doon. He also got married there and he's one of the in charge ng isang shift doon. So I was hoping to hear from them kasi it would have been nice to hear the actual sentiment of people from ground zero eh.
Yeah.
But for safety lang din since being in a situation na you can't just openly blurt out whatever it is that comes up in your head. They're being safe lang din. Siguro ito nga, like we've discussed, this is the testament
Yeah.
of, this is the proof na talagang, this is real shit. This is
Yeah.
as real as it gets. So, hoping one of them will join the call, but unfortunately, as of now, ano pa sila?
Let's say that they joined the call and they were candid, 100% honest. Sinabi nila kung nasa utak nila, ano magiging kinabukasan nila, nasan sila sa middle.
Repercussions? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you one example. Merong isang dude, okay, nag-post siya, Facebook post, and continuously niyang sinasabi na this country is going to hell, this country is not worth it, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And he's working dun sa country na yun. Okay. One random night, nasa office kami. May dumating na mga police, dinampot yung dude na yun. Ibang lahi to, hindi to Filipino. Dinampot yung dude na yun. Hindi namin nakita for weeks. Nalaman na lang namin na deport na. Further investigation shows na just because of the things that he said online, kaya siya pinalis.
That actually
So,
reminds me of,
yeah.
we talked about this earlier then, about the experience of Anthony Bourdain and the two journalists,
Mm.
New York Times journalists.
Exactly.
Apparently the journalists toured Anthony Bourdain and they were just talking about food and showing the beautiful side of Iran that not a lot of people know about. And it was actually a very different documentary because people saw the beautiful side of the country. But unfortunately, and I don't know if I'm putting myself in danger for saying this, but unfortunately, the journalists were captured in their country and apparently accused of tried for espionage. Even though they said nothing negative about the country, they were just there touring Anthony Bourdain to show people that hey, this country is actually good. There's good in this country. And apparently the wife was let out, I think a month after being captured, and then the husband went on to become imprisoned for a long time. He is now a journalist again with I believe the New York Times or Wall Street
Mm.
Journal, one of the big ones. These are just some examples of those scenarios where it's very understandable why these two guests of ours aren't here with us right now. And I don't even think I would want them to be here right now to talk about their experience
Yeah.
if it means
Yeah.
bringing them
Totoo.
close to danger.
Iba yung insight na mabibigay nila eh. Hindi kasi nila, I mean, like, they can paint the picture of like, nasa bus sila. This is according to our last conversation. Nasa bus sila. Like, one of the bus stops there, you'll see everybody looking up. So, syempre, tendency mo, if everybody's looking up, titingala ka din sa taas, right? So, pagkatingin nila sa taas, meron ng cloud of smoke.
Oh.
Nakita pala nila one of the drones was intercepted. Nasa bus lang sila. Kasama niya, I believe, yung asawa niya or maybe yung colleague niya lang galing from work. Alam mo yun, galing ka lang sa trabaho, man. And merong ganun right
Nilabutan ako
over.
literally right now.
Oh, me telling you these stories is not doing it justice eh. Yun nga eh, hopefully one of them can join eh. Pero it's just fuck. That's why I insisted also for this. That's why I'm extra passionate ako about this topic lang. Because I want to highlight what my friends, what the people there, what the OFWs there, what the Filipinos there are experiencing. So hopefully with whatever it is that we can come up with this episode, it gives them at least even like a hint lang of what really the fuck is happening there.
Just to add to
Yeah.
that, Mike, you're a parent yourself. We're parents. I
Yes.
mean, these three of us here are. There was this video that I saw earlier today. There's a mother in one of the countries being attacked right now, and her son inside the bathroom. The mother is in her work clothes, and just in that small amount of time, couple of seconds, just under a minute, there were like 2 or 3 explosions that we heard in that video. And then the mother was trying so hard to explain to her kid what was happening, but you can only teach them so much about it. And the main goal lang of the mother at the time is to make sure that the kid isn't that scared and that the kid knows that she's there for him. So as a parent, that resonated with me na parang, holy cow, this is what's happening to the world right now. So Mike, I want to understand from your perspective as a parent, what are your thoughts on everything that's happening right now to the world? Because this doesn't only affect a certain demographic, it affects all of us.
Thank you for asking. Actually, ang naiisip ko nga dito, since nung bata naman tayo, meron ding gera sa Middle East. I remember back in the 90s, may Cold War din sa Middle East. I'm trying to remember how my parents would make me feel secured during that time. Di ko halos naramdaman yung takot, no? And then probably my parents did a great job making me feel secured. But right now, since nandiyan na ang internet, hindi natin sugarcoat sa mga anak natin kung ano talaga yung sitwasyon. I think it is best to explain it to them kung ano talaga yung nangyayari. And what better way to do that by telling them what you are feeling as a parent, na maging honest ka na, sabihin mo sa anak mo, anak, natatakot din ako.
Tama,
You
tama,
know?
tama.
Pero anong gagawin natin sa takot na to? Dapat maghanda tayo. Kagaya nung sinabi ni Wiwo kanina, hindi ito magandang panahon para gumawa ng mga malalaking desisyon or risks. So yun,
Mhm.
you really have to do a lot of explaining to these kids nowadays. So,
Ito, gusto kong
tulong-tulong,
i-add
I
din
guess.
doon na maganda yung sinabi mo kasi dati asa ka lang sa TV kung ano ipapakita nila sa'yo, di ba, sa balita. Like yung I think you were referring to the Operation Desert Storm, yung inatake ni George
Yeah.
Bush yung
Exactly.
Iraq.
I had the same thing in mind.
Yeah. Like, nakikita mo sa TV parang astig, may mga tangke, parang
Kailan
mabilis
to?
na gera lang.
Sorry
So
for
parang
being ignorant.
ano yan?
Ano
Sorry?
to? Actually,
1990s yan.
mas may nauna pa eh.
Ay, di ko na alam kung ano yung mas
But
nauna pa. Pero like,
regardless.
Hindi
yung
ba
gusto ko,
Bush?
yung mas matandang Bush to. Bush
Yung the
Senior.
senior.
Bin Laden? Bin Laden ba yung naiisip mo, Mike?
Hindi.
Operation Desert Storm was in 1991. Oh, sorry, di pa ako buhay. Kaya pala, inaalala ko kailan to. But yeah.
Yeah. Kasi sinugod ni Saddam Hussein yung Kuwait.
Yes.
Nag-resback yung
Yes,
rumesback yung
sir.
America. So ang point na drive ko dyan is dati TV lang, asa ka lang. Tapos yung mga nakikita mo naman sa TV, filtered yun at pinaganda. To make you
Yes,
feel like
propaganda.
wala masyadong danger na mararamdaman. Pero ngayon, makikita mo sa internet, pag ang bata nag-search, makakita talaga siya ng video, lalo na sa X. Sa X sa Twitter, kalat na kalat yan. Kung marunong ang bata,
Oo.
makakahanap siya ng mabilis. Anong gagawin mo doon na sa parent? I mean,
Actually, yun
para
yung
sa akin, yun. Ang number one job mo is to make them feel secured na walang mangyayari sa kanila. Like, kailangan mo ipakita na they need to feel safe. Paano mo gagawin yun? Kahit nga ikaw, natatakot ka. So,
Exactly.
yung totoo.
True.
Natatakot ka kasi
Oo, totoo.
unang-unang pwedeng mawala sa'yo, trabaho mo. Anong nawala trabaho mo? Kapakain mo. Nasa isip mo pa ba yung gera? So, di ba? Meron knock-on effects na like para as a parent, real concern siya. And I have no solution for that.
Right.
Yeah.
I like what Mike mentioned a while ago na in-echo mo din na anong gagawin natin. And I think one of the things that we can do is this episode, which thank you guys for collectively agreeing to this. Kasi I think it's very important that we put the message out there that, advocate for humans in general. We're not siding with anyone, we're not siding with any particular country or whatsoever. We're siding with humanity. And I think may nakita nga akong meme before, bakit hindi na lang daw when there are wars, when leaders are initiating wars, why don't the leaders just battle it out on the ring and just, box na lang sila or whatever.
3 minutes suntukan. 3 minutes lang suntukan.
Diba?
Ganun.
Why
Square bate, no?
why include innocent people into the equation? Why endanger a lot of people, entire countries? For selfish purposes most of the time. Most of the time it's because they want to achieve something that's very egotistical na parang they just are in the middle of a battle of power. So,
Okay. Which
Okay.
brings me to my question, Chai. Sorry to cut you.
no, go ahead.
Agree ba tayo lahat or lahat ba tayo dito sa room ay ayaw ng war? War per se. I mean, I'm not talking about this particular war going on in the Middle East, but war per se. Are we
Paano ba?
against it? Yung
We should be against
Webster.
it. Yeah. Well, I mean, ideally, I'm against it, pero like, ever since humanity existed, we've been at war. Ayun ang history ng
May
humanity.
ano medyo may konting may konting inevitability involved with war Kasi if if you want to parang go forward, if you want to move forward, if you want better things in your life, meron konting talaga may konting war involved Like,
Mhm.
magkakaroon ng resistance into what you want to do, may konting resistance on how you want to apply what you want to apply. So, merong konti talaga, at a certain level, may konting war Siguro, with the type of war that we have right now, of course, nobody's gonna be with it. Pero, for me, if you're gonna ask me, parang may certain level of war that you have to be comfortable with Kasi kahit tayo minsan may gera tayo sa sarili nga natin na inaano 'di ba? Na nilalabanan like yung gera lang ng paggising yung gera lang ng pagtiklop ng pinagtulugan mo Alam mo 'yun, 'di ba? Yung gera lang na for
Oo.
example, keeping yourself fit, gera lang na ensuring that your family is sane na to the
Well
point na
said.
wala kayong iwo-worry. I got you. Gera na yun Yes, nobody in this world would rather have gera or rather have war, would be comfortable with war. But I guess siguro medyo understanding it and konting the appreciation Just being able to know na war is kasama with change. Like may konting degree of war with change That's for me.
Mhm.
That's my side of it.
You, Chai.
Ako in its most simple sense, war in itself, no. Uh, of course, I'm heavily against it. Um, but I do understand what both Nike and Wo are saying na it's inevitable. But ako very idealistic kasi akong tao I acknowledge
Mhm.
the hardships of life, the reality, but at the same time, I'm very hopeful. I like what we discussed in the second episode na parang I've always been hopeful no matter what happens
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
world. I want to believe that war is not necessary. Conflict, sure. Difficult
Mhm.
discourse, sure. But war, honestly, without egos, without I feel like it's really just the egos. Kasi I don't know, when
Mhm.
I think about it,
Okay.
it feels that way. Like when you look at the heads of
Mhm.
states that are at war with each other, when you look at the dictators who were trying to occupy certain territories in certain parts of the world,
Mhm.
when you look at it, they're just egotistic maniacs na parang they just want to
Mhm.
prove something to the world that they are the best, that they are superior, stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Oo.
hubris. But
Ako, I'm just trying to pick your brain kasi syempre kung paano natin to pinapaliwanag, ako kung paano ko siya pinapaliwanag sa mga anak ko, ayun nga, kung babasahin mo yung Webster or Cambridge definition ng war, tama si Nike, inevitable talaga siya. Kung sa ideal na mundo, dapat walang war, ano? Pero may conflict and may unlimited human wants, sabi nga sa economics, no? Ako,
Tama.
personally, conflicted din at some point, no? Hati din, no? May itong nangyayari ngayon, clearly this is an imperialist war, no? May pag-agaw ng teritoryo, ng control, may capitalist motivation siya. So, totally against
Teka,
it.
Mm.
gusto kong
Yeah, go ahead,
parang
go ahead.
klaro tayo dito na ano. I guess ang angle ng United States dito, base sa mga nababasa ko, is parang nakikita nila yung Iran as the only state na destructive sa region. Yung iba nakapaligid sa kanya, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, yung mga bansang yan, Israel, mostly they are developing the region. Ang nagte-threaten sa development ng buong region na lang ngayon is Iran. So I guess yun yung reason nila kung ba't sila nag-strike para lalo maging prosperous yung region. Kasi kapag naging prosperous yung Iran, magpo-flow yung oil sa Strait of Hormuz, dalo yung pagkain, buong mundo yayaman. Ganun nila naisip yun. And yung mga capitalists na tinukoy mo, magbe-benefit doon sa mga investments nila, pagdaloy ng pera. At the end of the day, sa kalabad na money.
Yeah, especially since businessman ang presidente ng United States.
Yeah.
There's so many
Tama.
things I want to say, but I don't think I can say them here in this platform. I mean, I want to be as transparent as possible, but at the same time, the only thing hindering me now is my family. It would be so much different if we're doing this 10 years ago, for example. Wala pa akong anak, wala pa akong asawa. I'd be all out. I don't care what I say in this episode or wherever, in whichever platform. But yun nga, I think yun yung harsh reality now, the real horrors of the world right now. The fact that we can't even safely speak up about how we truly feel, even though it's just stating how you feel, because that could put us in danger. And I'm
Yeah.
just realizing now how big of a deal this episode is. Well, not just now, but like swaying upon me how big of a deal this episode
Yeah.
is, how
Oo,
sensitive the
tama.
topic is.
So, wag
Yung
na
nararamdaman mo, Chay, yung
Yeah.
nararamdaman nila, times 10 mo siguro yun sa mga nandun sa Pilipinong nag-cancel ng last
Yeah.
minute sa atin, di ba?
Exactly.
Di ba?
Oh,
Mm.
imagine niyo they can't post stories, they can't
Mm.
post photos, they can't share it. And certain Middle East countries, you need VPNs pa just to connect to the internet. Imagine, wala ka ng internet, okay, let me lay it down ng isang malinis lang na point of view. Wala kang internet. Magka-internet ka, hindi mo ma-post yung gusto mo. O sabihin na natin ayaw mong i-post, i-share mo lang. Hindi mo siya ma-share kasi kailangan mo nga ng VPN. So, dun pa lang yung hindrance pa lang na yun eh. Wag na natin i-consider yung hindrance pa ng receiving part. Baka may internet ba yung receiving part, may data ba yung
Yeah.
receiving part. Imagine those layers that you have to traverse. Just for you to say na, hi guys, I'm okay. Hey family, I'm good. Hey wifey, don't worry. Hey kids, I'm good. Imagine mo yun, yung para lang, hindi ko siya hindi ko siya
Like sinasabi mo
expound
ba hindi nila pwedeng
further.
sabihin na they're good sa family nila?
They can. No,
They
no, no.
can. Okay.
Don't get me wrong. Pero it's difficult for them to actually even show photos na, yo, puta may sumabog na tangke dito or puta may
Okay,
missile
good.
na.
Yan.
Hindi nila
Okay.
ma-share yun. Even if, kasi, wouldn't you want to show it to your sibling na, oh, yo, puta may racket, oh. Automatic yun eh. Human, ano yan eh, instinct
Okay.
yan eh. I-share mo yan, di ba? But they can't. Ang gagawin lang nila is, I'm okay. A thumbs up or maybe a photo na safe sila, gano'n. Pero they can't really express what they're really feeling eh.
Are
Doon
they
ako,
being tracked by the government?
okay, merong, ibigay ako ulit tayo sa example. Immigration. Okay. Sabihin na natin na OA naman tong dude na to sa kaka-post niya ng political point of views niya. Okay? For some reason, during immigration, na-flag siya. Ano to random to random trip to. Na-flag siya. Di siya nakaalis. Hinold siya. Si Bak. Deported, bro. Just because of him, sharing his point of view. Walang ang tawag doon, freedom of speech.
Oo.
Aha.
Yeah, itutuloy ko lang kasi may napag-usapan kami ni Nike kanina na okay sana yung mga guests kung like walang video tapos voice changer. Kaso
Mm-mm.
sinabi ni Nike na na kahit gawin mo yung mga steps na yon, kapwa mo Pilipino ang pwedeng ipagkanulo ka sa government, tama ba?
Bakit ganun
Yes,
tayong Pilipino?
okay. Okay, eto na tayo dyan. Again, with the humanitarian point of view. Crab mentality. I don't know. There's no other way of saying it. Crab mentality talaga. Akala niya naman what is it? How do you
Uunlad.
say it?
Kayayaman niya.
Ika-uunlad. Ika-uunlad yan.
Kauunlad.
Sorry, it's the potion talking. So,
So, Nike,
akala niya naman, yeah, tell me.
no, how do your friends find the strength to keep a routine? Because they also need to eat. They also need to continue working and whatnot. I'm trying to understand
Um,
how is it like there right now with them having to continue
okay.
doing what they need to do.
Okay, siguro medyo extreme naman yung napipaint ko na picture. We have good days. We have like enjoying cuisines na Mediterranean cuisines, which is one of my most favorite cuisines, okay? Merong mga times na kasabay mong magsasamba at magsisimba ang mga Muslim at saka ang mga Kristiyano. Peaceful talaga siya. Pero pagka nagkaroon talaga ng time na may conflict, nagkakaroon ng line eh. So, in between those, siguro yung mga pauses, siguro yung in-betweens lang. It's the in-betweens. You find yourself in the in-betweens na parang, okay naman pala dito eh. Kaya ko naman pala dito eh. Laki ng sinisweldo ko dito eh. Parang ganun.
Yeah.
And then, bam! Shit hits the fan. Putang ina, di ka makapag-bus. Sarado yung city mo. Sarado yung airspace. Groceries shoot up. Like, the cost of living shoots up. So, things like that. Siguro, sige, ganito na lang. Optimistic point of view, galing ng Pinoy, bro. Like, they
Resilient.
smile. They resilient is one way to say it. Bro, they
Sige, go ahead na.
they smile. They smile through this.
Mhm.
So basic. Wala ganyan din sa amin. Parang napanood ko lang kay Tanggol yan. Parang ganun eh. Like, it's fucking amazing how resilient nga eh. I'm thinking of another term eh. Meron pa isa pa eh. Like how hindi how
Faith?
the strength lang that they have, the perseverance ba that they
Mm.
have. Amazing, bro. Like I've seen it na overseas, yung Pinoy, even other nationalities, they will say the same thing. Filipino, tatawa lang yan. You just keep a smile
Yeah.
on his face and do the same thing. I think I said it a few episodes ago also.
Bakit ako
Yeah,
nalulungkot?
yeah, yeah.
Bakit ako nalulungkot sa statement na yun? For some reason.
Yun
Kasi
nga eh.
nakakalungkot yung reality na yun. Ako
Mm.
may psychology background ako. It's a coping mechanism na hindi kasi ang Pinoy, hindi niya ina-analyze yung risk talaga ng situation niya. Kasi pag ina-analyze niya yung risk niya, sobrang bigat at maiintindihan niya kung anong hinaharap niya. So, ang coping mechanism is either through humor or just to lighten up the situation. Hindi
Oo
na
eh.
nilalalim pang pag-iisip.
We do. And actually, even right now, like, what I think, this is also perfect for you to answer in a bit. I've been looking at a lot of posts about people helping other people, with survival guides. Kasi with price of oil shooting up, of course, price of goods will also shoot up.
Mhm.
And with only 52 days of oil reserve or something
Yeah,
left,
50 to 60. Yeah.
50 to 60, we need to figure out what to do because the government isn't really giving us any details as to how they're addressing it. So
Yeah.
now, I've been saving those survival guides kasi parang paano bang gagawin ko ngayon So, yung dami ko nakikita sa feed ko na aside from those survival guides, which are very practical, there are also a lot of memes na tied to it. So parang it's very Pinoy. There will never come a time na may major thing na nangyayari tapos walang memes na ilalabas sa mga Pinoy. Parang never ko pa nakita yun nangyari. Kahit gaano kabigat, laging may memes na lumalabas. So I guess it's a bit sad. I mean, it's a bit it's helpful sometimes because we see it in our everyday and our everyday lives when there's conflict. Sometimes we just, brush it off, we laugh it off. And then it's good if it's something just very light na hindi mo na kailangang mag deep dive into it. But when it comes to these things, it's really sad that a lot of people opt to just dismiss it as something na,
Mhm.
I don't want to talk about it kasi mas stress lang ako. But I feel like we
Mhm.
need to talk about it. And I feel like you guys feel the same since we are in this episode right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah, tama.
I was asking a while ago, I
Ginus-
was saying na,
Ginusto natin to eh.
yeah, a while ago, I was saying na Wall might have something to say about it, yung sa mga survival guides na na lumalabas ngayon. As someone who actually understands how the economy works, how businesses work, I mean, you are our go-to when it comes to these types of topics.
Okay.
What are your thoughts around
Would you
that?
say na karamihan, above 50% ng Filipinos are living in poverty or below the poverty line?
I would
Would you
say
say
a
that?
lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. So,
Okay,
kinda.
that's great. Paycheck to paycheck, yeah. So ibig sabihin yung oil reserves natin and yung paycheck to paycheck, mostly in sync sila. Ang yung survival guides mo na yan, not to be like a doomer here, pero kung titignan mo yung numbers na ganun, paycheck to paycheck, karamihan, madaming middle class. Ibig sabihin nun, ilang percent lang ng mga Filipinos ang kaya magtabi for a crisis like this. So kapag makapag yung part lang na yan ang pwede magtabi, paano yung rest? Anong mangyayari sa kanila? Hindi mo problema ngayon ang kung anong nakatabi diyan sa ref mo. Ang problema mo ngayon is yung social upheaval. Yung mga taong nagugutom at pwedeng magwala sa streets at maging lawless ang Manila at ang buong Pilipinas. Yun ang problema mo ngayon. May mga survival guides at the end of the day, kailangan marunong ka mangarate tulad ni Nike.
And how do we make sure na people are wait lang. Sorry. How do we make sure na people aren't reduced to just collateral damage? Kasi honestly, yung mga
Too
survival
late for
guides na
that.
yun, I don't
Mm.
think I don't think even I would follow every step of those guides. Kasi medyo let's be honest, medyo hassle. It takes discipline, it takes a lot of work. And not a lot of people, number one, not a lot of people ay papansinin yung mga guides na yan. Number two, not a lot of people have access to those guides, even though they have access to a lot of information. Kasi yung information na they choose to consume, yun na lang yung lumalabas sa mga feed nila. So this probably wouldn't even show up in their feeds. So
Yeah.
it's sad. I think yun na yung conclusion ko. It's sad.
Ako
Like who
naman,
cared now?
sa mga ganitong panahon, ang naiisip ko, by instinct na rin, kagaya rin ng pandemic, ito yung mga panahon na hindi ka dapat nagkukulong sa kwarto mo, nakatingin ka sa TV, nakatingin ka sa phone mo, because half of it, or maybe most of it, are propaganda. This is the best time to go out to your community.
Okay.
Nakagaya mong takot din. This is the best time to check your kapitbahay. Anong matutulong mo sa kanila or anong matutulong nila sa'yo sa mga ganitong pagkakataon. This is the best time to go out there, log out from social media, kilalanin mo yung sabihin mo gawin mo munang 3-kilometer radius kung saan ka nakatira.
Personal contact, checkin mo talaga yung first degree mo,
It's fighting
Yeah.
against a rhetoric that asks a whole nation to cry uncle.
Yeah, damn. Like ano siya,
Ano eh,
there's no insight para sa akin dito sa gerang to. Alam niyo ba yung Poly Market? Yung betting site kung saan nagbe-bet yung mga tao kung kailan matatapos tong gera at mga events kung ano-ano. June 30, 70% yun ang bet nila na pwede matapos tong gerang to. So, ibig sabihin nun, ilang buwan pa for na pwede magtuloy-tuloy yan. It's too late for the Philippines to do something about it. Umadasalin kayo, simulan nyo na. Dahil medyo
okay, wait,
nakakapag-alala
wait.
yung mga
Wait,
susunod na buwan.
hold up.
Sige.
This is giving Stranger Things.
Oo nga, no? It's giving
How
Stranger
the
Things.
fuck is
Yeah.
there a site? Wait lang. How the fuck is there a site na may pustahan where
Oh!
when a war would
Yeah!
end? Putang ina.
Poly Market,
Right,
yan.
ba
Matagal
to?
yun. Oo.
The
Lahat ng
world's
events pwede
largest
kang pumista
prediction
doon.
market.
Yeah, exactly. Oo. Chinek out ko yan kanina kung anong prediction nila. Mababa matapos ng 30% lang yata before the end of the month. And prinamis si Trump 45-week war lang. People are believing that it could extend to to
Oh,
June
let me
30.
share a link with you guys.
Wait,
Tangina.
nagpustahan ba sila kung kailan magsisimula?
Meron din. Oo, meron din yun.
Oh,
Bakit hindi
nigga,
mo
that's
shinare sa amin?
insider. Oh, insider trading yan, ah.
Ngayon lang naman lumabas yun eh. Marami ka makuha insight dyan sa kung anong iniisip ng tao. Mga normal na tao lang yan na pumupusta.
I just want to point out the fact na imagine how low na lang these people would go na they would actually pay or bet on fucking wars. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Siguro,
a way to make money. People get rich.
ako nga,
People
I
get
feel
rich.
bad. I feel bad betting on yung mga, yung mga sisiw na nilublob sa pintura. Alam mo yung dati yung mga, inaano
Mm.
natin, binibili natin sa tapat ng
Gagamba
gabi.
nga,
Di ba?
umaano na ako, maalma na ako eh.
Dude, yeah, I feel bad na eh. Pucha, pustahan mo pa yung gera. That says a lot about you, though. Pucha.
Apparently, there are a lot of people here who are doing that. What's this,
Damn.
yung $17 million volume?
So 17 million na yung nakataya dyan sa market na yan. Naipon na yan.
That is just the question na US-Iran ceasefire buy.
Yeah.
That's $17 million.
Yun yung volume niya. Yep. Sige, sakto lang naman yung volume niya.
Yeah, sasabihin ko pa alam, medyo maliit ah.
Oo, sakto lang naman yung
Sasabihin ko
volume
pa
niya.
lang
Oo.
eh.
But
sasabihin ko pa
still,
lang
I
eh.
mean, imagine people, $17 million. Medyo
There's
na
money to be
That's
made.
Trump change. Oh, that's Trump change. Ay, pwede
It
ko ba
is.
sabihin yun? Hindi ko pala pwede
Yeah,
sabihin yun.
oo. Ano ba? Like,
Okay
lang, isang
lang.
data point lang yan. Hindi yan reality. Pero like, may kita mo kung paano nag-iisip yung tao. Kahit pa paano, through that poly market.
Parang one thing kasi na sinabi sa akin ng dad ko is that I subscribe to newsletters of global media outlets so that I know what's going on with the world. And at one point I read all of those religiously, but then there came a point na parang hell is happening to the world. Nasa-stress na ako kasi every day may bagong nangyayari na may shooting, may bombing, may missiles nang involved. And then the Epstein files and all of that. And I'm like, you lose faith in humanity.
Are we gonna get into that Epstein
Wag.
loophole?
Wag
yun.
Loophole?
Wag yung pangit yun.
Iba na
Saka
yan,
mga-
iba na yan.
Sige,
Mga myth.
Hindi,
So
ganito
go ahead,
na.
Mike. Go.
Bibigyan kita ng point of view. Kami ni Wiwo, I got into crypto siguro mga 2-3 years ago. Okay? I was with Wiwo the whole way. Okay? Alam ko na magko-collapse tong industry na to. Pupustahan ko 'yun.
Yep.
I'll put money into it. Ano nga yung tawag doon? Making profit with losses? Anong tawag doon? Yung kumikita ka sa mga negatives. May tawag doon I forgot it. I forgot the
Your
term.
lost
Okay,
my
so,
gain. Oh, anyway.
in that point of view, instead of instead of implying the humanitarian point of view, imbis na pinustahan mo na, hindi, sige, alam ko na babagsak yung market na yan, pinustahan ko. Di sana parang you did something na lang about that market na para, oh, sige, alam ko na nang babagsak pala to market na to. I mean, masyado tayong minuscule sa point of view na to actually make a dent or to make an effect dun sa scenario na yan. But even yung mga people in charge, mga taong involved, if they saw na magko-collapse to market na to, magko-collapse to industry na to, and they betted against it or like with it, putang ina, it shows greed eh. Plastered across the screen, as the screen, it's just greed. Putang ina, gusto lang namin yumaman, wala akong pakialam sino mawalan ng bahay, sinong mamatay ang magulang dahil wala ng pera to pay off these things and those things. Para lang matuloy-tuloy lang nila yung gusto nila mangyari.
That's the nature of
So,
capitalism. Sum it up.
exactly. Inang yan, di ba?
And in a
So,
way, sadly, that's human nature.
Yeah.
oo.
Uh, I would
Thanks sa struggle si Mike.
like to argue on that. Dapat hindi, pero yeah.
I mean, I don't
Oo,
agree.
dapat
I don't
hindi.
Dapat
wanna
hindi,
agree.
pero
But
yeah, most of the time, yeah, most of the time.
and all this to say, our priority with this episode is protecting the human experience, because how can we immortalize it without us protecting it?
Mm,
And I know
tama.
everyone still has a lot to say, but we're gonna wrap it up there for this special drop. On this Friday the 13th, don't worry about superstitions or stuff like that. Just worry about your soul. We believe that poetry, stories, and the human spirit are the only things that truly last and the only things worth locking in eternity's cage. Remember the human spirit element
Kapal.
there. So
Mm.
war tries to turn humans into ash, echoes, and they intend to reduce us to just collateral damage. Our job and
Mm,
your job is to refuse that. We advocate for that kid on the balcony whose dreams are the only light that matters, not the missiles launched to set things right. So check on your people, demand peace with every word that you speak, and we'll be back on the Wednesday after next. But until then, I won't say stay articulate, stay anonymous for this. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay human.
Our goal is to immortalize the human experience. To do so, we must first protect it.